Hey all you poker players out there, it's Josh Grover from Strategic Adjustments, once again bringing you a poker concept video. Today's video is going to be on how to adjust properly to the game that you're in. We are currently at the Wisconsin Veteran Tribute here in Cadet, Wisconsin. The next game or player type I'd like to talk to you all about would be the old man day game. So I'm sitting on this bench trying to represent a lot of the old super tight passive games that you might encounter. They generally happen earlier on in the day. Ways to beat these games, which there are definitely ways to beat these games. A lot of people think when they're playing in really tight games there's no money to be made. There is, and actually one of the good sides of it is it's really low variance. So for those of you who don't feel comfortable in 1-2 or whatever and don't have a lot of buy-ins, day game against older guys is actually a really good way to build your bankroll. And it's going to be slower, however, your losses shouldn't be that big. One way to beat these players is to raise in position a lot. Make sure you're c-betting a lot against them, especially on drier boards. They seem to pretty much be fit or fold for the most part. If they hit a pair, they'll call. If they miss, they miss, and they don't make a whole lot of bluffs and all of that. Figure out the guy that call folds, and there's normally a couple of them. Single those guys out in position. Consider limping with some bigger hands like ace king, ace queen, king queen. Even a lot of pairs. I know it's really tempting to be raising and getting value for those hands, but you'd be surprised how often these older men will limp with hands like, say, king 7, queen 8, a lot of garbage, and when they flop top pair they're never getting rid of it. And if you raised ace king or king queen and they just fold those hands pre, you missed out on a ton of post flop value. So that's actually one way to really make money in these super tight games is to kind of play into the limps a little bit more as well, but with really strong range hands and completely get tons of value post flop from them. Also, another way is to steal their blinds, because there's also a lot of day games where it's fold, and you can just keep stealing those blinds as well. Like I said, the wins won't be as big. However, you can make them really consistent and your loss is very minimal, and the variance is so low. So I recommend these games for those of you out there that don't have big bankrolls. Drunk versus sober games. Every once in a while you'll be in a poker game where everyone's having a blast, everyone's drinking and very drunk. I am definitely not against having fun. A lot of people get lost in the game and in the drinking, and you can pretty soon find yourself either tilting a lot easier or even, God forbid, becoming blacked out and having a big loss without even remembering. So I want you all to recognize that if you do enjoy having drinks at the table, just a couple every time, and everyone else is sober, they all realize this. They're watching you have drinks and you're gonna kind of instantly become a target, which isn't always bad, as long as you recognize this. So my words of advice are, obviously drink in moderation, don't overdo it, make sure you're still thinking properly. Have fun. I'm not against fun, have fun, that's awesome. Poker's supposed to be fun. But at the same time, if everyone else is sober and you're drinking, realize that you will become a target and kind of use it against them. Sometimes you can even have a little you can have your own little leveling game where you even act drunk if you're not, and you get people to do stupid stuff against you because they think you're a drunken idiot. So right, now I'm going to talk to all of you about an aggressive leveling game where the players are much better. They kind of understand situations, what's going on. My first piece of advice to you is go watch my training videos. This will help you tenfold. It will let you understand what's going on inside someone's head and being able to use it against them. The best thing you can possibly do against these kind of players is dive into the situation. So just like talking about all the players and games before, just like the let's say the Maniac where we're 3-betting our big hands, or let's say the Super Nit where we're stealing their blinds, or let's say the old man game where we're raising them and then c-betting. So against a good leveling player, they're going to understand what we're doing against those player types, and they're going to try and take advantage of us. So if I'm constantly isolating an old man, right, and raising in position, and there's a better leveling aggressive player, he's going to end up re-raising me and trying to take advantage of that situation. Now if I go to the third level, I'm going to know what he's doing, knowing that he knows what I'm doing, and I'm going to be able to come back over the top again or do some things post-flop. And this is kind of where you can get, you have to make sure that you know who you're up against. You have to make sure you actually know he's a thinking player. Just like in the game last night, I got it all in on a flop with King 10 high on a 9-3-4 board, I believe, rainbow, and I 5-bet all in. But it was a total leveling spot. It was me knowing that he knew what I was doing, and me getting to the highest level against him. And I would never attempt that against any other player type. You have to know who you're up against. You need to get training to play against these players. You need to get coaching to play against these kind of players. So have fun, drink in moderation, understand the game that you're in. Subscribe, like, comment below, and we'll see y'all next time for Strategic Adjustments.